Hi, Bill from CJ's here with a Lund Racing nGauge custom tuning device fitting your 2007 through 2014 GT500. The nGauge is a state-of-the-art tuning device from Lund Racing and includes the gauge itself and one custom Lund Racing tune designed specifically for your vehicle. Lund Racing has definitely set the standard for remote forward tuning for years, as one of the most highly respected tuners in the industry. Lund Racing designed the nGauge to be the best tuning product on the market for your late model Mustang. This is going to connect to your OBD2 port and allow the user to see live data, they can log data, read and clear codes, and most importantly, upload a tune. There's several user configurable gauges, up to 6 viewable at one time, and you have your choice of hundreds of OBD2 signals to choose from for your gauges. You can log files using the cord in the front, or you can log to the included micro SD card. The lights across the top will work as warning lights, and it also has full diagnostics built in. There's a few other things that really separate the nGauge from the competition. One thing obvious is the size, making it very easy to mount in your Mustang. You can also see there's no buttons. Everything on the nGauge is going to be touch screen. It also has 2 analog inputs, and one of my favorite things is the flash speed. If you ever flashed a late model Mustang, you know the first time you flash it and every time you update the tune, it takes 15 minutes sometimes to actually go through with the tune. Not with the nGauge. Your first flash of the nGauge is going to take no more than about 5 minutes, and after that, every update is less than a minute. The Lund Racing nGauge is going to include the cable that goes between the nGauge and your OBD2 port in your Mustang, a stylus, obviously the gauge itself, the mounting bracket, and a micro SD adapter. The adapter and stylus are for the micro SD card located in the bottom of the nGauge. This is actually what you data log to. Then you can take this out, put it in the adapter, and put it in your computer. We have the nGauge hooked up to the OBD2 port in our Mustang, so we'll run you through some of the basic features and show you the actual display. You turn your Mustang on, it's going to fire right up with it. And it's going to connect to your vehicle, make sure it's the correct tune. Then it's going to bring up one of your gauge screens. They have a lot of different options here. I'm just going to take you back to the main menu. This is going to be your main menu when you turn the nGauge on. It's going to give you 3 options. Gauges, which are fully user configurable, and again, you can log them as well. Tuning, which is where you're going to add your custom tune, and then diagnostics. I'll take you through gauges first. You want it to connect. So now it's connecting the vehicle to see what gauges are available. And here's just the random ones that come up. It's in demo mode right now. Again, you're going to configure these for whatever you want. We'll go back in. Flip through, you have analog gauges as well. There's our voltage gauge. And you go into signal. This is where you can actually choose. You have all kinds of different things you can choose from. Voltage, air fuel ratios, exhaust gas temperature if you have a truck, manifold pressure, all kinds of things. Again, you can choose. There's hundreds of OBD2 things you can actually choose, and the nGauge will run the gauges for you. And again, as you see here, you can run up to 6 gauges at a time on the screen. And then the top lights here are, again, user configurable. You can use them for warning lights, for shift light. There's all kinds of different, again, user controllable options for those lights. Exit gauge, we'll go back to tuning. To tune the vehicle is very simple. Again, we're in demo mode here, so it won't tune it. But all you do is click on that. You can click on vehicle info if you want to. That's going to tell you the VIN, the strategy, everything you need for the vehicle. And you would simply click on load tune and follow the instructions on the screen to load a tune. Very, very easy. Status shows you if the vehicle is currently tuned. Basically everything that you've done so far with your nGauge. And the last thing you have here is going to be diagnostics. Diagnostics, you have options for data logging, general settings, storage device information, the ability to read any kind of codes you might have, or delete codes as well. So if you have a check engine light, click on that. It's going to run through it, search for the vehicle, make sure everything's connected like it's supposed to be. In our case, we don't have any codes on our car. If you did have one, you would simply hit clear right there, and it would clear those codes for you. Clear DTCs. There you go. Then USB. It's just showing that we do have a USB card in the nGauge, and that will currently store any data logs that we would do. Also in diagnostics, you have your settings page. Here's where you can actually control kind of what the nGauge does. Sleep, wake, you can make it turn on or go to sleep when the engine's running, when the car turns on. There's all kinds of options as far as when it actually works. You can adjust the brightness of the screen, medium, low, which is almost barely visible, but at night probably works pretty well, and then high, which we normally leave it on here. Units, updates, if you're adding additional inputs, startup mode, a bunch of other features built right into that. It's all very easy to use too. I don't have a ton of experience with the nGauge personally. I was able to plug this thing in this morning and work my way through it. It's very intuitive. Here we have the nGauge set up with 4 somewhat common signals you might want to monitor. We have boost, load, our fuel trims, and then our RPMs. Beautiful thing about the nGauge, it looks great in the dash. It's a fantastic tuning device. Like I said, you get the benefit of all these gauges as well. Definitely an excellent choice if you're looking for a high-performance tuning product for your late model Mustang. When ordering a Lund Racing nGauge for your GT500, there's a few things we're going to need from you. We're going to send you the nGauge itself, and Lund Racing is going to send you a custom tune direct. So you will need a working email address along with a computer so you can download the tune from the computer to the nGauge itself. We also have a list of basic questions you're going to have to fill out on our online form. You need to know what year your Shelby is, what your computer code is, and then a list of basic modifications. There's going to be 2 different versions of the tune available, so you want to make sure you order the correct one. The base tune is going to be for your stock supercharger with basic bolt-ons, including a pulley, exhaust, anything like that. The boost tune will be for any non-OEM supercharger, along with any kind of a turbo, custom camshaft, anything like that. In the case of the boost tune, remote tuning is also included. The Lund Racing nGauge is the perfect choice if you're looking for a state-of-the-art tuning device and one of the best tunes available for your 2007 through 2014 GT500.